Hello, children. How are you? We are meeting after a long time. It's a long break. Okay, now I'm going to teach you the business studies today. That is consumer education and protection. This is the last chapter in business studies. Now, what do you mean by the term consumer? A person who purchases goods and services is called a consumer. We are all consumer, right children? Because every day we go and purchase commodities from shop or mall or anywhere outside. We will go and purchase. So everyone will purchase, everyone is dependent on others. So we are all called consumer, that is consuming goods. What about services? Services means we purchase even service also. Service means what? It is a qualitative, means we can't measure service. Example I'll give you for the service. You will go to bank, they'll do render service. No, all people in the counter, they'll be doing the work. LIC office, they'll do the work for you. You go to any government office, they'll do the work for you. And then you go to hospital, doctors, nurse and ayas, they all render their service to you. Is it not? And teachers in school and all, they'll come and they'll teach you. This all comes under service. Even engineers, doctors, lawyers, all will come under services. So we are all called consumers because we use both, that is goods as well as the services. Now, see the persons, they are all moving, they are all consumers. They want so many items in the picture. They are moving there and all. Second picture, they are going to the shop, in a mall or anywhere, and then bazaar. They are purchasing all the commodities they are carrying in the trolley, that. So, wants are more today. So many wants are there for man. As the science and technology is, increased, our wants have increased more and more shops, more bazaars, more malls have all started. So all people, they'll go and buy the commodities in the shop. So we are all in that way called consumers. And here now, the consumer, there are so many things are there for consumer children. The service organizations have used the term user to those who use the goods and services. The person who supplies goods and services is called provider. Then I have mentioned you who is consumer. There are two relationships, two persons. One is provider. Provider, what he will do? He will manufacture and provide. Consumer, he will buy and use. These are all the relationship. Two characters are there in the trade. It is the right of every consumer to get quality goods and services, right? No, because we'll go to shop and inquire for the commodities. We'll see and the name, company, and then quality, price, everything we'll see, inquire, and then we'll buy. Even service also, good hospital, good school, and then anywhere we will go and then see how the service is given. All that we'll see, observe, and then we'll join or we'll take services. The traders or the producers cheat the consumers in many ways. This is very, very important, children, because we should be educative while purchasing the commodity. Many times, though we are all educated, we are aware, and we are all alert, even then we are cheated, is it not, by the traders? So we should be always alert. In spite of that, also many times we will go wrong. To stop this hindrance, some social organization started some movements. It went on, and now today, no, so we have started in India. The important now the groups are Federation of Consumer Organization, number one. The next one, the National Consumer Protection Council, that is the thing. And now, the legal and moral duties of protection owed to a purchaser of goods and services by the supplier are called consumer rights. Every consumer has got right to, raise his voice. If the commodity is fake or substandard or not good, quality is inferior, we can raise our voice and then we can launch a complaint. Even not in a civil court or criminal court. There is one separate court for the consumer that is called consumer court. I'll tell you later. Now, during the past, the producers were supplying goods directly to the consumer. Example, I'll give you milk, fruits, vegetables, and without any hindrances of middleman. Definitely no. We'll go buy directly to the shop or directly they'll come and supply to us. When agriculture occupations developed, it changed the marketing methods. Today, farmer only directly is not coming and then supplying to all the doors. It is coming to the market or the shops. So we people will go and buy in the shops. We are not going to the village to buy everything. Is it not? So who will bring and sell? They are called traders as well as they are called middlemen also. Understand? Who will bring from the provider any commodity? Maybe it may be from the factory, industry, agriculture, or anywhere. They will bring from them, they'll pay money and then bring, and they'll come to the established shops or mall or anywhere, bazaar, they will sell to the consumer. Is it not? So this is called marketing. Now, the direct transaction between the producer and consumer has almost stopped today. The price fixation of the goods and services was done mainly by the middlemen. It led to many hindrances. Consumers had to face various difficulties and problems. They incurred many losses. The development of information technology has led to teleshopping. Now, teleshopping means what? You are familiar with the teleshopping. Can you tell the name? You can't. I'll tell you. Now, today, Amazon, Flipkart, and still more you know better than me. Is it not? So, we'll order. So, they will supply us. That is called teleshopping. E-shopping also. Electronic shopping or teleshopping. It will come to our door only. Is it not? Courier will come to our door and then they supply us. Sometimes there also inferior commodity they will supply. Immediately we are in the online we will give complaint and then we can return the commodity and then we can get the other commodity also. So totally the consumers are sometimes cheated by the people. The consumers, instead of going to the traders, can place order for the goods which are advertised over television and other media through internet, SMS or telephone. Consumers can place the order for the goods selected. Payment can be made after receiving the goods at the door or in advance online. This is called teleshopping. Consumer is a person who buys goods and hires me service. See, if some people are sick, what they'll do? They will appoint a nurse. Yeah, that is what hiring, is it not? Or they want a typist or clerk or any people, telecallers. So they will hire the people who knows that. So there are services for a consideration called price or wages. Whatever we'll pay, we'll take their service and then we'll give in the place money. That money is called, we should not say money, we should say price or wages or salary. The goods purchased may be for self-consumption or meant for resale or for a commercial purposes. Every consumer has certain wants, is it not? So all consumers, they don't have any common wants. Every consumer has certain wants. What I want is you don't want. What you don't want, others they want. Like that. He buys goods to satisfy his wants. It is the duty of every producer to satisfy the needs of the consumer. Ours is a free enterprise economy and consumer is regarded as a king. Again, I'll repeat, consumer is regarded as king because we will only select the commodity, how much, quantity and quality, everything, price, like that, and occupies a prime place. But unfortunately, today, many a times the consumers are neglected. Oh, it will come advertisement they'll give in TV, newspaper, media, and they will send it to the market shop. We will go and then without seeing anything, we'll buy. Sometimes expiry date also will be there. We will not notice. We'll buy and use. Even medicine also, children. We'll buy, use the medicine, but that may be expired. Then all the the results, that we are going to face. Now, like that, consumers are neglected, exploited, and cheated. They suffer heavily health wise and money wise and satisfaction also. They won't get much satisfaction like that. And now, next one, that's why Consumer Act they have introduced, government has introduced Consumer Act. According to certain rules and regulations they have implemented, everyone should follow. It refers to protection of the consumer against the exploitation by the producers and traders. There is a great need for consumer protection. To safeguard the interests of the consumers, consumer rights are assured. Now, here in this picture, consumer right. The legal and moral duties of protection owed to a purchaser of goods and services by the supplier are called consumer rights. Consumers have the right to seek redressal against unfair trade practices and exploitation. Here I want to tell you one more thing I forgot to tell you, children. That is, while weighing also they'll cheat. You go to vegetable shop or meat market or any shop you go, even grain merchant and all. While weighing also they will cheat us, is it not? They fake the weight and all they'll use. So many things are there, the cheating and all. That's why in this picture, consumer right means every consumer has got right to use good quality of the goods, good services because they are paying. Is it not? They are paying and they are getting the goods or services. So consumer has got right to protest if the commodity is inferior or service is bad. Now here, Consumer Forum is a government body. It redresses the complaints of consumers against the seller or supplier, locally known as consumer forums or consumer protection councils. They guide consumers on how to file cases in the consumer court. Here we are showing that a hand is holding the lamp, is it not? So this is a symbol of the Indian Consumer Forum organization, and they say that consumer first means everybody is consumer, everybody will buy and use, income will go to the trader and the provider and tax and everything. So here consumer is the first, that is a motto of this the picture. Now you know that every Consumers Day in the worldwide we celebrate on March 15th, 1962. We started in that is the important day that time. This was introduced by the John F. Kennedy, the president of USA. Now he said that American consumer for four basic rights. The right to satisfy every consumer after buying anything. You may be buying a washing machine or TV or medicine or a fan or whatever it is, on grains, fruit, vegetables, everything, service also. So right to safety. First it should have safety, this one measure. The right to choose. Consumer has got right to choose various commodities will be there of different companies and all. It is it is left to the consumer to select. You go to that shop, example I'll take pie mart. Then their only fridge will be there, belonging to different companies. It is your choice. You can select which company you want. You can select, and then you will pay because you will pay payment and all. No, that's what the right to information. They should give information about that while buying. They should not cheat. Correct information they should give, and the right to be heard. Now, now we also should be aware whatever is going on, how the company working, how long that commodity will usable or work, all that we should, and also 1 year guarantee, warranty, and all they'll give. So if anything goes wrong, we can go to shop and again we can get it repaired or replaced. Otherwise, we can go to consumer court. So consumer court is established. Within 1 year or 2 years, they'll give time now. That warranty card they'll give. If at all they break the law, then we can go to the court. For this reason, March 15th of every year is celebrated as the World Consumers Day. Now, here there are so many rights. Right to protect against marketing of goods, the right to information, right to choice, right to be heard, right to seek redressal, right to consumer education, right to stop exploitation, right to healthy environment. So many things are there. And also, one more thing here in the central level, state level, and district level, all consumer protection councils they have established. Local level also, children, because people they can't go to such the consumer court. In the lower level also, from district level and the state level and central level also, we have got a number of councils. For the ministers in charge of consumer affairs at the state level, central government is the chairman. They call it National Council. Chairman is the first person there. In the state level, minister, who is the minister in charge of that. In the district commissioner or collector, he is the in charge, like that. Any, say, district forum, state commission and national commission, like the three groups are there. That is any dispute happens between the trader and consumer. So we can go and launch the complaint in the court. Then what will happen? The court will, we should produce the commodity also. Simply we can't go. We should produce the commodity, what is the defect, how they cheated, quality and everything we should explain and launch complaint, and then they will call the provider, and then they will also check everything. Afterwards they call both the trader and consumer, and then they will give the result, and before the trial will take place. And consumer forum is a government body that redresses the complaints of consumers against the seller and supplier, locally known as consumer forums or consumer protection councils. They guide consumers on how to file cases in the consumer court. Now, this one. Next, I'll proceed to the consumer. This picture, say, consumers have the right to be informed. I told you about the commodity, the shopkeeper, and they will appoint the people who are all good at talking and promote the business. So they will come and then give all information about that commodity, about the particulars of the goods and services that they purchase. Consumers can then complain and ask for compensation or replacement if the product proves to be defective in any manner. I have explained already. Now here this picture shows repair. Now I told you that 1 year warranty or 2 years warranty they'll give card. So if anything goes wrong in the commodity, we can go to that person or agent or the seller or provider. Then we can book the complaint and we can request him and prove that. Then immediately what will happen? Either they will replace or they will refund. Any one they should do, they ought to do. Both also, if they don't agree, we can go to the consumer court. So, consumer court is called problem solver, between whom? The trader and the consumer. So, like this, refund, replace and exchange. They will do exchange also sometimes. So, sir, the mixie is not working properly, within 2-3 months it has gone. Repair means we'll go, and then immediately what he will do, I'll give the other companies. Example I'm telling. Then he will change. That is the exchange. Instead of this, that I'll give. Instead of this medicine, I'll give that medicine or any other things like that. And replace. That he will replace or exchange. Otherwise, he will give money back. If you don't agree all the other things and all, then he will refund the money. So like this marketing is goes. Consumer Protection Act in 1986 they introduced is an act of the Parliament of India. Here they show no consumer protection. This is a court. In the court, a consumer protection court is there, and it makes provision for the establishment of consumer councils and other authorities for the settlement of consumers disputes. Disputes means what? Quarrel. And for matters connected there with also. See, up they have given consumer protection. To protect the consumer, who is there? Consumer court is there. Down we have given consumer court. Now there are 3-tier Consumer Protection Act. CPM is what? Consumer Protection Act. National level, state level, district forum. I explained already that this is the thing. So what will happen? The act has enabled us as consumers to have the right to represent in the consumer court. Now, the World Consumer Day is celebrated on March 15th every year. I explained. World Consumer Rights Day, that is called also 15th March. And 15th March World Consumers Day, see all are raising their hands, is it not? So they have got right to use good commodity for good price, reasonable price. Now next, what I'll do, recap. Now a recap I'll do, children. Now that is, from the beginning I'll do once recap. A person who purchases goods and services is called a consumer. Next, the legal and moral duties of protection owed to a purchaser of goods or services by the supplier are called consumer rights. Next, consumers have the right to seek redressal against unfair trade practices and exploitation. Next, Consumer Forum is a government body that redresses the complaints of consumers against the seller or supplier, locally known as consumer forums or consumer protection councils. They guide consumers on how to file cases in the consumer court. Next, consumers have the right to be informed about the particulars of goods and services that they purchase. Consumers can then complain and ask for compensation or replacement if the product proves to be defective in any manner. Next, Consumer Protection Act 1986 is an act of the Parliament of India enacted in 1986 to protect the interests of the consumer in India. It makes provision for the establishment of consumer councils and other authorities for the settlement of consumers' disputes and for matters connected therewith also. Next, under this act, a 3-tier quasi-judicial means tribunal board. I told you now, central level, state level and district level machinery at the district, state and national level was set up for redressal of consumer disputes. Thus, the act has enabled us as consumers to have the right to represent in the consumer courts. Lastly, World Consumers Day is celebrated on March 15th every year. They may ask you fill in the blanks or MCQ. The World Consumer Day is celebrated on A, B, C, D. March only they give you 15th, 5th, 25th to confuse you children, and some other 5th or like that. So you should remember now March 15th is the Consumers Day. World Consumers Day. Like this. I hope that all of you understood the consumer education and protection. It's simple and easy, children. Everyday life it comes. So if you know this every day, you have undergone all these things. Is it not your family? So if you remember that, so it will be easy for you to understand. Thank you.